Hi, and welcome back to Veterans News. This is Dave Culmer with segment 10 with our special guest who was able to come back. Chuck, once again, I'm glad to see you back.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I hope you had a decent night's sleep.
Very good, very good.
Okay. Chuck, tell me, what branch of service were you in?
I was in the Navy.
In the Navy, okay. Very good. We're going to talk about whether it's advantageous to go GI when buying a home as a veteran or to go conventional.
I really believe that the going GI or VA is the best way to go because it protects the veteran. If the market takes a big change, goes backwards on us, it protects the veteran in case he would, lose his job, something would happen in the family, there would be divorce, anything negative going in. He's protected up to the $36,000 figure here, where he could sell his home and not have any derogatory credit based on that because they will forgive up to $36,000 on it. So to me, it's the better loan of the situation there. If it would get into an escalating loan, then of course you may have to go to a conventional loan if it's an escalation of the 359 or doing a buy down.
Okay, so it's a matter of what your personal choices and preferences are.
Well, exactly. The VA is the best for the protection aspect of it.
Very good. Okay. Chuck, when you said not buy down, but would use the term with coming back down to the $36,000 level when there's a possibility of a foreclosure. Could you elaborate a little more on that with a little more clarity of what that particularly means?
Right. What that is called, it's called a VA compromise, which means that if you would go on the open market to sell the property and you cannot get the costs and everything paid plus pay off the first trust deed on it, that the VA would come in and pay up to $36,000 of the deficiency.
I see.
So that the lender would be made, as I said before, whole, but it just pays the loan back and everything, and the vet's okay at that point then.
Okay, and that gives the veteran specifically some financial cushion in the event of a default.
Right, exactly. It gives them it's a strong benefit of the VA.
Okay, great. Good. Very good. I think we'll take a break right now, and we'll come back shortly. Chuck, thanks again for being here. We'll see you in a minute. Hi, Dave Culmer here with Chuck. Welcome back. Chuck, what, if any, are the benefits of refinancing a VA loan?
Well, the advantage would be you can go out and get another conventional loan, pay off your VA loan.
Okay, so we would pay off the VA loan through the refinancing.
Right.
That would free up the eligibility to have another certificate of eligibility.
Exactly.
With entitlement.
Right.
And you could then buy conventional, you say?
Well, what you'd do is you would take your VA eligibility. What a lot of vets have done, since they've got a conventional loan on the house now, what they would do, they just let that sit there. So at a later time, if they decide maybe a little later in their life that they need to get another home, they can go back through their VA loan again because they are eligible yet to do that.
Also, frequently veterans will ask how long you have to live in a house when you buy a house under the GI Bill.
Well, what they tell you is you must live in the house. Now, they don't say whether it's 1 year or 50 years. So the criteria isn't really set. It's just that you must live in the house and there's no set time element on it.
Okay, so essentially the Loan Home Program administered by the VA is for a veteran to purchase a home basically to live in.
Exactly.
And if you choose to do anything else with it, then that's
an after the fact.
That's an after the fact. Very good. Okay. One other element we talked about during the break is a veteran is eligible or entitled to buy up to 4 units on one certificate of eligibility. However, there are stringent requirements that he must have on deposit in the bank the monthly payment times 6
Right.
for those 4 units.
That's his reserve payments, just to make sure that he can get through that period of time so he has a backup so that he's not short going in.
Right. And not using the other 3 units to pay the monthly note.
Exactly, so that
Right.
they know he's solid enough going in that he's not going to have that problem, and that's why they do that.
Chuck, when a home exists for a veteran and his spouse, and the veteran dies, what happens in a case like that?
Okay, well, a veteran can either be the husband or the wife. Either
That's
way.
correct.
And what would happen at that point is the sole surviving spouse could continue making the payments, and as long as they keep everything current, they can just continue on with the loan until it's paid off.
Okay, so there really is not necessarily any significant difference with regard to the lien holder in
No,
that case.
not really. No, as long as they get their payment on time and everything just continues on to the closing of the loan.
Very good. Okay. One other question, Chuck, is when there is a state loan program for veterans. I know California has a program like that. It's called CalVet. When states provide loan benefits for veterans, is there a best way to go, or is it determined by the veteran and his particular set of circumstances?
Well, it's going to depend on the state. Each state is going to have different set qualifications for that. They are loan programs that are guaranteed by the state, whichever state it is, and normally those loans are shown as being held entitled by that Veterans Administration of that state. But yes, there's a lot of programs out there. Like in California, they have a CalVet program. It's a very good program. It's got a little bit of interest rate than most programs out there, but it's a very good program, but they have to research it by going to their state agencies.
Okay, so each state, you have to look at your state to see if the program is afforded and if it's advantageous to take that versus the VA loan.
Right, and any regular mortgage lender can tell you what might be the best way for you to go and lay all the programs out to you. And that's the best way is in whichever state you're in, go to your mortgage people and talk to them, and they can help you get through that process.
Very good. Thanks, Chuck.
Thank you.
Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back. And now, Chuck, I'd like to thank you significantly and sincerely for the 2 days that you spent with us on Veterans News and Veterans Network. I would like to say to veterans, if you're thinking of buying a house and there's no real obstacle, make your move. Jump in, take the plunge, buy the house. Chuck, what would you say?
It's a very important thing that you get out there and do the best you can for yourself in real estate, because this is your best investment that you'll ever make in the market anywhere.
Thank you, Chuck, and thanks again for being here. This is Veterans News. Dave Culmer, out.